For most of my life, I thought self-protection was strength. Defending myself, explaining myself, guarding up. Now I realize it was simply just tension everywhere. In my body, in my voice, in my thoughts. Maybe I thought that if I didn't hold on, or block off, or guard myself, that I would disappear. But in reality, the less that I do that, the more I feel real. The more I am real. What if the self you've been protecting all this time was never really you? What if protection is the very thing that keeps you from meeting who you actually are? What if the armor that once saved you is now the thing that's keeping you from being seen by both yourself and the world? I want to talk about what happens when protection stops running your life. When you stop leading from the part of you that's always anticipating harm. When safety stops being something you chase in the world and starts being something your body remembers and knows. Because when the armor starts to fail, you don't lose yourself. That's when you finally meet yourself. The real you, the you that's not just survival adaptation. The you that doesn't need to perform safety. The you that can love endlessly without losing your center. My hope is that this video opens a deeper understanding of what strength really is. Not control, not defense, not posturing, not armoring up, but presence that doesn't have to protect itself. You know what protection is. It's that part of you or the impulse to tighten, lock your jaw, furrow your brow, defend yourself, explain yourself, control situations, control outcomes, control perception. The part of you that learned that that's where safety comes from. And the part of you that learned that love was conditional. Think about it. I'll speak for myself here when I say that I had to protect myself from my family's chaos, from friends who mirrored old, unhealthy patterns, from the noise of a world that rewarded performance, and eventually even from the parts of myself that had to internalize all of that. As soon as you do start to just soften and breathe, and I know it sounds simple, but that is truly like a microcosm of what it is, this larger surrendering that happens, softening. When I started to do that, my life opened up. Truth has started moving through me freely without being filtered through survival and distortion. This is why I'm just clearer. I'm more alive. I'm more real. I'm more honest with myself and authentic. I can hold the voltage for more truth, for more love and abundance than I ever could in my entire life. Because I've softened and opened up space where I used to fill it with tension and defense and protection. When I was in survival, so much of my persona and my identity and image was built around avoiding pain and performing success and happiness and fighting myself, my real self, and anyone who mirrored back to me that gap. Since I've dropped most of the armor, and I say most, I'm definitely softer, like I said. My dad said it when I moved back here. I remember he said, you're different. We hadn't seen each other for 2 years, I think. And I've grown so much. Really, I mean, I had my full ego death and so much has changed. And he said to me, he's like, you're the same, but you're different. And he like it's this like palpable shift energetically that you go through where people can sense it and they can feel it, but it's hard to name. And yeah, I think it is palpable that I'm softer now. Generally speaking, again, we'll say that disclaimer there, I'm still a human, okay? But I'm more gentle, I think more, I reflect more. I'm more attuned, I'm more present, both to myself and the world around me. I can hold paradox, I can be honest and compassionate at the same time. I can tell someone exactly what they need to hear, even if they're not ready to hear it, and also show them love and support and safety within that. It's not a contradiction, it's integration. What if softness really is the strength, after all? How much of your discipline in your life is actually defense or performance? If not for the world, for yourself. Trying to prove something, your value, your worth. What if safety and truth are all that's left when tension finally leaves your body? When I stopped self-protecting, that's when it became so glaringly obvious everyone else's armor. Every single trigger, every outburst, every defense, every deflection, every wall, I see right through it. And what I see is a terrified child trying to survive their greatest nightmare, their biggest threat, projecting onto the current situation something that's not actually happening. Again, I don't say this from the other side. I'm not saying I am healed and that I don't get triggered, because I do. But I see it now so clearly, both in others and myself. When I respond that way, I'm like, okay, there's that. And then we move the energy. We regulate, right? If we stay present enough with what arises without moving into the defense, what is there? Grief. A well of it, probably. At least for me, there is a well of it. And when the floodgates open, it's coming, and it's not stopping. Because, by the way, I don't know if you've seen the state of the world right now, but we're all grieving right now, whether we're consciously aware of it or not. So this is what the process would look like. You have the trigger of some sort, or the defense or the self-protection. You notice it, awareness. You regulate. Breathe. Ground. Take a walk. Take a beat. Take space. Breathe through it and be present with it. So that doesn't mean avoid it, escape it. It means actually be right there with it. Because what, you have like a few paths when a trigger comes up. You can either act in it, follow the distortion, project out, go there, right? You can also avoid it. You can suppress it, push it down. Or you can regulate and be there with it. Like you're sitting there with your inner child and tending to him or her. That's what we're after. When you do that, that's when you're going to meet the grief. You know what else is under there? Compassion, purpose, and connection. And so much love. And I really think that grief, feeling it, feeling our feelings. And I think people will say that we do feel our feelings, and a lot of people do, but we're not feeling them consciously. We're not feeling them with presence. You truly cannot offer much to the world if you haven't met your own grief fully. Your real self is built on safety within. The you that is beneath those defenses. That you has capacity to hold nuance and paradox. Your real self has compassion for everyone's wounded parts, everyone's shadows, including your greatest villains from the past, and including yourself. I don't think there's a need for any of us to understand anymore. I think we have all the knowledge in the world available to us. Too much knowledge out there, narratives out there, information out there. Not enough attunement in here. Not enough honesty with what's going on in here. And I don't just mean to what you tell the world or what you show the world. I mean, more importantly, always, with what you tell yourself, what you own and embrace yourself, about yourself, what you're willing to face about yourself. What if the end of self-protection isn't loss, but it's rebirth? I don't want to be protected anymore. I want more than anything I've ever wanted in my entire life to be present. The triggers will happen, I'm sure. But ultimately, at my core, the armor has done its job. And now it's time to lay it down. I choose peace that doesn't need control to exist. Love that doesn't need to prove itself. The me that is truly infinite energy, pure consciousness. The me that came way before the story and goes way beyond the fear. Let me know in the comments below what's something you've learned about your real self that you didn't know or recognize when you were in survival? Or rather, what's something that has shifted about you now that you're stepping into your more authentic and honest truth under your defenses and your self-protection? How have you shifted? How has your personality shifted, your tastes, your lifestyle, anything? Let me know in the comments below. I would love to hear from you. And if you like this video, give it a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button so you don't miss any more content like this. Thank you for watching, and I will talk to you soon. Bye.